Hi everyone. In this video interview we're discussing immediate practical corrective application in the moment, in breath. This is what we've been mentioning when discussing the living application of self-honesty within writing and self-forgiveness, and then the self-corrective application, where self-corrective application is thus the physical corrective living of and as the realizations, insights and understandings within and as what self has applied self-forgiveness for and of, and what self has written out and directed within and through and as writing within points or parts of self that was faced within self and one's world and one's reality. So let us have a look at some practical examples in assisting and supporting oneself with practical corrective application. Now, this is also mostly only at the moment within the context of and as the conscious mind. Because remember, within one's process, one will walk through one's conscious, subconscious and unconscious mind. And this self-corrective application is the process of assisting and supporting oneself to make a stand physically within self, to be able to walk out of the conscious, subconscious and unconscious mind. So self-corrective application is another practical point in assisting and supporting oneself to establish oneself within the physical, to stand within the physical, to live in the physical, and no more accept and allow self to be taken for a ride within the motions of energy and systems within as one's total mind consciousness system. So it is definitely a process of constant, continuous practical application in proving to self that self is in fact standing steady, stable and non-wavering here as breath. So let us have a look at a few examples consciously in terms of thoughts and reactions. Let's have a look at some subconscious and unconscious reactions that can emerge in moments when you are discussing or participating with and interacting with people in your world, in your environment. One will feel it like this urge to speak or express a point or opinion or view that will like come up inside you, and if you're aware and stable here as breath, you'll actually experience your body even tilting slightly forward as this point within your subconscious and unconscious want to emerge. This is an indication of a backchat personality that is attempting to rear its head, meaning that's attempting to jump out and step forth, because one went into a point of reaction or inferiority towards something or someone, and in that one immediately want to try and defend or stand or state a certain authority or point of position to protect one's ego. And it'll literally feel like something like stretching up from inside yourself, from your stomach through into your chest, and it'll literally physically even tilt your body slightly forward, and you'll want to move into the moment physically and try and like spread out or exert your standpoint, your view, or your opinion in as that particular specific moment. Now, practical corrective action in such a moment would be to be able to stop yourself before becoming possessed by an as such a subconscious and unconscious backchat personality mind defense entity. So have a look at when you're participating with people, and this will mostly happen within a group context, or especially people or persons that you tend to compete with or have accepted and allowed yourself to participate in an as jealousy with, where one has played that game of superiority, inferiority in the context of competition and winning and losing of energy and ego. So take yourself to that or such a person in your world, in your reality, and have a look at moments where such a subconscious, unconscious mind, backchat personality would want to come up within yourself. So you breathe here. What will happen initially first is that your chest will slowly but surely start tightening. Your shoulders and your back will also start tightening and hardening. Your hands and your upper arm muscles, you'll also feel like you'll be moving them a lot more, like almost preparing for a fight. And then you'll want to move physically forward and tilting almost your body forward as this personality possession starts coming out from your subconscious and your unconscious mind. And so physically, practically, in practical living application, stopping oneself is to literally like step back, relax your shoulders, breathe, and literally breathe out that experience of wanting to speak or retort or relay an opinion or view or perspective. Because if you self-honestly realize what it is that you're preparing yourself for was some form of defense or attack for and of your ego in relation to this person or being that you're accepting and allowing yourself to attempt to try to compete with, to validate your ego or position or status within your own mind consciousness system and within your own social world and or reality. So here a practical application example in relation to a subconscious mind, unconscious mind, backchat, defense personality, and how to physically, practically assist and support self to not move into and become possessed by a personality, but breathe, relax, be here in the physical. And even that will be experienced with physical discomfort and resistance, like your whole internal body hardening and maybe even a slight shaking, because one would have usually automatically given into the possession, given into the energy, given into the mind, and thus fed the mind the required and needed energy to be able to continue existing in its systems and formats and patterns and habits that it consists of and exists as. But now you're physically correcting you in a moment by moving into the physical and not into and as the mind. So play with it, have a look at assisting and supporting oneself in that physical reality discipline, to not give into the mind but walk in the physical as breath. And who knows, maybe there's even a point within yourself that you may realize that start opening up and revealing as self. Stand in reality, to see the reality of who self is in relationship to that person, instead of continually inexhaustibly trying to fight and compete within and as an alternate reality in your own mind that's not in fact really real. And countless possibilities may open up and reveal and expose itself in making our reality and our experience with others a lot more pleasant than what we've been accepting and allowing ourselves to accept, allow, and create and manifest.